Will my divine partner come to me soon? Well, it depends. You have to look at your Venus transit to see where they are. That's how we answer that question generally in astrology. And we also look to see who your divine partner is. If you want to know that, you want to look at your 7th house in astrology. You also want to look at Juno in astrology. But those aren't the only 2 placements, but those are the prominent ones. Your Venus is another prominent one. But your moon is also important because that's how we feel feelings and how we experience them. You don't want to be in partnership with somebody whose emotional vibration you're not connected to, because if they can't feel feelings the way you feel feelings and they don't resonate with the way that you experience emotions, it's going to be a problem, because inadvertently you're going to have issues in the relationship, because that's how relationships work. Relationships are groundwork for us to learn how to collaborate, how to forgive, how to communicate, how to become better people. And good people are people who care about other people. You know, people who understand that the whole world isn't just about them and what they want, and who understand that other people have wants and needs too, and we're all are here to, you know, be nice with each other, to be friends with each other, to get along together. And a relationship is where you get to play that out. So if you would like to schedule a reading for more personal insight into your romance, then link in bio to do that. We can talk about it more privately. Okay, Taurus sun with an Aquarius moon falling for a Capricorn sun and moon, but we keep having a push-pull vibe. The Taurus sun is naturally compatible with a Capricorn sun, so that's beautiful energy. Aquarius moon and a Capricorn moon is also beautiful energy, but it's karmic energy. And you know, whenever we're doing love, even though love is karmic. I will say that because, you know, the 12th house in astrology is ruled by Pisces, and that is also the house of karma. And Pisces is the zodiac sign of love, you know, like the purest love, not the Libra love or the Leo love. You know, those other 2 are also lovers, but for Pisces, love, is divine justice love. So whenever you have that at the moon between 2 people, there will be push-pull, especially if these 2 are karmics from another life. Do you know your Venus sign with this person? That would be helpful for me. Your Venus sign and also your Pluto with this person. Hi guys, thanks so much for coming. Hi Haseen Sambu, thank you for being here. Okay, so he's an Aquarius Venus. Oh, I thought you were, so JB, are you a masculine or a feminine? I think I misread this. Okay, Taurus sun with a Aquarius moon is what you said. Okay, so are you both boys? I just want to make sure I'm understanding. And by the way, there's no judgment. I'm queer. I'm just clarifying what's going on with you. Okay, so you're both guys. Got it. Okay, so both guys, beautiful by the way. So he's an Aquarius. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't like to make assumptions about people. So he's an Aquarius Venus, and he's an Aquarius Venus, and you're an Aries Venus. Okay. Aquarius and Aries are compatible in astrology. In fact, they're soulmates in astrology. So the reason I take a deep breath is because there's a lot of compatibility here, but it sounds like the issue might be with karma here. What do you have at your Pluto and your Saturn? Do you know both of your Plutos and Saturn? Okay, and your moon is his Venus. Oh, so he loves to hear you speak. Oh, I like that. So he loves it when you express your feelings. It sounds like he wants you to be submissive. At least that's what I'm getting. Like he wants to hold his cards and he wants you to show all of yours. Like he needs to feel in control. So you're a Taurus sun and he's a Capricorn sun. Of course he wants you to be submissive. He's a Capricorn sun and moon. That makes sense. Yeah, it sounds like, a lot of times of Capricorn, and he's a Capricorn Mars. Yikes. So he's a Capricorn stellium. I'll just be honest with you. As a fellow Capricorn stellium, we're let me find the right words. We're not easy people, okay? Capricorn stellium are not easy people, and it's not that we're not nice people, but we're not people who do intimate relationships because we're bored. A lot of people, when they're looking for love, they just do things because they're bored, or they do things because they want to feel something. They're like, oh, I want to feel something. I want to feel like somebody loves me and I love somebody. So then they start dating. Capricorn dates because they're looking for something that is unbreakable, okay? So in looking for something that is unbreakable, they will apply that pressure in the relationship because they want to know that it's real. They don't want something that is here today, gone tomorrow. They don't want something that is fleeting. They don't want something that is childish. Capricorn is very big on having a mature kind of love, okay? And yes, I know the Venus may not necessarily be in Capricorn, but when you're dealing with the Capricorn stellium, that Saturn energy is going to be very, very dominant. So with Saturn, everything that we do, we're expected for the universe basically pressures Saturn dominant people to only engage in activities that are rewarding. And but what I mean by rewarding is activities that take hard work and that bring them what they want in the end, which is fulfillment. And Capricorn is very loyal in relationship for this reason, because I know real relationships take work. And this is why in the beginning of the relationship, Capricorn is very hard to pin down. You may like them for a long time before they actually show you that they like you back. That's Capricorn, because they need to know that you like them for real. And they're not interested in anything shallow or superficial or childish, or like, they're not entertainment. They don't take love like something to do for fun. Like, oh, I'm bored. Let's see if I can start calling this person, like, to see if they want to go out with me. Because Capricorn is fine being by themselves. They don't need anybody. So if they give you their time, it's because you're worth it. You're worthy. And you bring value, because they always bring value. So JB said, yep, and my son is in his 12th house, and his son is in my first. So his son is in your first house. So he's also attracted to your personality. Wow, he likes everything about you. And your son is in his 12th house. So let me tell you what the deal is. In order for this relationship to work, you have to humble yourself. I'm not even going to beat around the bush about it. I'm just going to tell you how it is. You have to humble yourself. And can you remind me again what you each have in your 7th? Oh, your son is in your 12th house? Is that what you're saying? And thank you for tapping on the screen. Those of you that are doing that, I appreciate it. Yours is in Capricorn, and what's his? Hi, Amanda, Alexis. Thanks for joining. Hi, Danny. Thanks for joining. Hi, Dressflow. Thanks for being here. His son is in the first. Okay. So what do you both have in your 7th? Just me and myself. Hi, just me and myself. Rich Rising Community. Thank you, JB, for liking the live. So I'll wait to see what you both have in your 7th. I want to see how compatible your 7th are together. Just Flow, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. That's the issue. I knew I was going to get there somehow. That's the issue. Yeah, Sagittarius and Capricorn, as an astrologer, I love seeing them together, because there's no realer bond than, in my opinion, when it comes to the earth and fire combos, nothing gets realer than a Capricorn and Sagittarius together. Nothing. Because these people love ugly truths. Both of these people. So when they get together, it's nothing but real energy. It's real, it's raw, and it lasts forever because they mean it. Because Sagittarius loves their freedom more than anything. So Sagittarius is not desperate to be in a relationship. And Capricorn loves their accomplishments more than anything. So for Capricorn, being in a relationship requires taking time away from their accomplishment, taking time away from pursuing their accomplishments, their passions, like their career, basically, to put that into you. So they have to deem you worthy of that trade-off. So that's why for Capricorn, love is always an investment. It's not something they do for fun. It's an investment. It's like money. Like, I'm burning money over here so I can get money over there. So if you want your Capricorn to consider you to be money, it has to be just right. You know, Saturn is a slow planet in our solar system. You cannot pressure a Capricorn to move things along. You can't pressure a Capricorn to feel feelings they don't have. You can't pressure a Capricorn to lock it down if they don't want. It's just not gonna happen. Saturn requires that Capricorn moves slowly. Saturn requires that Capricorn moves intentionally and carefully. So slow, careful, and intentional is how Capricorn operates. If you're someone who does not value slow, careful, and intentional, it's not going to work, okay? So him being Capricorn stellium, he already has this energy in him, and this is how he operates. When you add to that his Venus in Sagittarius, who naturally does not like to settle down, thank you, Tony, for the number 2 gifter badge. Sagittarius is not in the business of settling down. They're not in the business of like locking it in, you know, like Sagittarius likes their freedom. They're the wild horse of the Zodiac. I mean, they're an archer, you know? So yeah, they do it when they want to. And you said that's why your Venus cries. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this may just be one of those things where if it's meant to be, will be, but it may be one of those things that you've done in a previous life and it didn't work out. It didn't work out because of lies. because of lies, because of truths that were being withheld. What do you both have in your 12th house? Now I'm very invested in this karmic connection, because this is definitely a karmic connection. And by the way, for those of you who are not familiar, a karmic connection is a connection that you have with another that you've had in previous lives. It means that you've done this dance before together as a couple, and you're doing it again in this life. And sometimes you're doing it again in this life because it didn't go so well in the last one. So basically, you keep seeking each other out to do this thing, but the skills that you need to actually make this work, you may not necessarily have at this time. But when you see each other, you recognize each other right away, and there's an attraction right away because you recognize each other. It's like you probably have been married to this person before, is what I'm trying to tell you. You probably you've done this dance with this person before in different bodies. You could have been man, women. You could have been women, women. You could have been men. Like, it doesn't matter. You could have even been parent, child. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is you have done this thing of like trying to share love before in previous lives, obviously in different formats. And you're struggling to get it just right. And that's why when you meet your karmic connection, it feels familiar. So then parts of you just like, well, I know you know me, because right away it feels like, right away the juice is there. It's almost like a glove. Hi, Cat Love 224. Right away it feels like a glove almost on your hand. Like the juice is there. It feels natural. It feels normal. It feels like you've done it before. Hi, Morena. Thanks for being here. I'm so sorry for being late. I meant to be on here a little earlier, but it's nice to see you on here. But yeah, when you have a karmic connection, oh, you said you couldn't stop staring at each other? Yes. So see what I mean? See what I mean? Hi, it's nice to see you. When you meet your karmic love, when you see each other, you're going to recognize each other right away. You can't give it up. It's like a stench from the past. And I use the word stench loosely, but it's like when you do love with somebody, that love stays with you. It stays with you forever. So yes, you die, you come back. When you see them again, you're going to recognize them. But the thing that makes love work is the things that you need to work on. Like the things that you both need to work on to make it work. And if you're experiencing push-pull, it's because there's friction here, unresolved issues. So it feels like this as opposed to like harmony. Because love is harmonious. This is why Libra rules love in astrology. Libra is not at war with herself. In fact, Libra doesn't even like being at war. They're just like peace. And that's why a lot of times they're very avoidant. It's not that they're bad people. They just don't like aggression and confrontation and arguments. Like for Libra, it's much easier to just, okay, you don't want to, fine. They'll rather get away than to do nasty things. They don't like nasty people, nasty energy, nasty things, like uncomfortable things, like no. So when you're doing love with a karmic, I need you to know that it has strong karmic implications. Okay, so Sagittarius in the 12th house, and see, I knew it. Didn't I tell you it was lies? Didn't I tell you it was lies? Did you hear me say that earlier? It's lies. The reason why the relationship is not working out is because of lies from previous lives. He's the sweetest Capricorn you've ever liked. Oh, yes. Gemini 12th house, huge issues of lying. Sagittarius 12th house, huge issues of lying. Yes, you heard me. Yes. Because Gemini and Sagittarius are on the truth axis. They're on the information axis. Both of them. So for Sagittarius is like logical information, and Sagittarius is spiritual information. So if you're dealing with your sister sign from previous lives that you're not getting along with, it's because you're both lying. You both have lied to each other before. Oh, you did hear me. I'm glad you hear me. You heard me. And he doesn't want to open up. Yeah, well, he doesn't want to open up because he doesn't want to tell you the truth. He doesn't want to tell you the truth. Because Sagittarius in the 12th, yeah, he doesn't want to tell you the truth. That's why. You can't do love with someone who doesn't want to be open. You can like them a lot. You can have fantasies and dreams about what you want to see happen for each other. But you cannot do a love relationship with someone who does not want to be open. If they don't want to be open to a conversation, if they don't want to be open to intimacy, if they don't want to be open to sharing feelings, a person who doesn't even want to share their feelings or their voice with you, what do you expect them to share with you? This is the thing about people. Like, people tell you who they are. You have to believe them. You have to choose to believe them. If when I first meet you, I can't stop staring at you. If we get together, we have great chemistry. and things are popping off, and I think things are going to keep popping off, then all of a sudden you grow cold on me, then there's something happened, right? Because how did we go from hot to cold? Something happened. Now, if I care about you and I want our connection to keep thriving, when you grow cold on me, I'm going to get closer to you because I care about you, and I'm going to investigate, like, oh, so what's going on? Like, you went cold on me. Or if I care about you, you don't even have to ask me. I want you to know. So I'm gonna immediately come out and tell you, like, hey, this is what happened. This is what happened. You're like, I'm so sorry that I pieced out on you. I was going through this and that and that. Like, man, that was rough. You know, because Capricorn, when they're going through things, they like to get away. And I understand that because Capricorn deals with life better when they're alone. And I hate to say it, but that's just how we are. It's not even trying to be mean. It's that other people don't have the drive, they don't have the stamina, they don't have the patience to work through things. And we have all of that to work through things on our own. So we prefer to be by ourselves whenever we're going through life so that we can work our way to stability, because we know other people only bring problems, they don't bring solutions. So Miranda said, yes, that's just the way it is. We're like Coke and Pepsi. Yes, he will ghost and I will block. See, when somebody said, yep, our friends don't know what we've been doing. Miranda said, that's why I made my peace with the person I was seeing and moved on. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. But yeah, that's probably the best decision. He doesn't want to say that he likes me more than he wants to, and I feel it. See, that's game. I don't want to say how much I like him. See, that's game. So you're both wrapped up in your ego, and you're both lying to each other. Like, JB, I'm sorry to be so direct, but I don't know any other way to be. I don't know any other way to be, JB. So I assume you chose me to ask that question because you want someone that's going to be honest with you. So this is my honest opinion. You guys are not ready to break those old karmic cycles of lying to each other, which is why the love is not working. It's because you're not wanting to be truthful. Because the truth is, like, if he's playing games, which is what you're feeling, right? Because you're both highly intelligent, having Sagittarius and Gemini in the 12th house. These are the smartest zodiac signs, okay, by the way? Yeah, Sagittarius, Gemini, on the list of the smartest zodiac signs. So you both have figured out that there's a game being played here. You know there's a game. He knows there's a game. Okay, well, the mature thing to do, the Capricorn thing to do, the karmic thing to do in this situation is to confront it. That's what Capricorn does. When Capricorn has a problem, they don't pretend to not have a problem. Especially if it's with another person. If it's you, if I have a problem with you, I'm not smiling in your face. Because why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Because how are we going to evolve, the both of you? How are we going to go from here to here if we can't talk about the problem? So if you're trying to play games with my heart, I'm going to call you out on it. So the mature thing to do, the Capricorn thing to do is for you, JB, or for him, hi from South Africa, to actually bring up the conversation. Like, hey, when we got together, like, things were good. I thought we were hot and heavy and we're going to do this thing. But then I noticed that you grew cold. Like, what happened? Is this something I did? Is this something you did? Like, what happened? Because something shifted. That way he gets to, like, be honest. Like, yes, I like you, but I'm not ready to commit. Or I like you, but, you know, I'm seeing somebody else. Or I like you, but I don't want monogamy. Like, whatever it is, he gets to say it. And then you get to decide whether this is going to work for you or not. But the fact that he's playing this game, you know he's playing this game, and you're playing the game along, but yet you're frustrated, that's not the Capricorn, that's not the karmic thing to do. You know, karma is about breaking through barriers. A lot of times when we talk about karma, we talk about it in very limited, you know, like, we talk about it through very limited lenses, but karma really means work. That's what karma means. Karma means work. Karma means, like, what you get paid for your work. So if you want a healthy, loving, you know, harmonious partnership, when you're in relationship with somebody that's giving you mixed signals, you have to address it. Because if you don't address it, you're basically saying that you're okay with a love that is mixed signals type of love. And mixed signals type of love comes with a lot of issues, a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of things that don't make sense, a lot of BS. And if that's what you want, then that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, then you got to call it out so that you have a chance to actually transcend those limitations into something that feels a lot more healthy for you. So that's my advice for you. When people are being hot and cold with you, generally means that they're not interested, or they're not interested at the level that you're interested. Either way, it means it's unstable. So Part of being a mature adult is confronting that via conversation. And yes, it can be uncomfortable, especially for earth signs, because earth signs don't like mess in general. Earth signs like things to be grounded and stable. Instead of reading between the lines and canceling the connection, how about having an adult conversation and see what you can learn from each other? You might learn more information about him that you never knew, and maybe what you learn allows you to continue the relationship without you putting all your eggs in that basket. You never know, but you're not going to know until you actually are curious about what's happening for you. This is what's happening for me. Now what's happening for you? And can you and I find a middle ground where we can make this work? Because I like your energy. I like being around you. I like the connection. I don't want to lose it. What's going on that allows us to keep enjoying this within the parameter of what's possible? Maybe it's not possible to have more commitment right now. Well, can I just hang on until the commitment comes later? Like, we don't know. You don't know. Hi, Scorpio 56. It's so nice to see you. So you don't know. We don't know. But we're not going to get there until we're actually willing to have the awkward conversation. Because it's in that awkwardness that the truth comes out. It's in that awkwardness that he can say, yes, I do like you too, but I'm not ready for commitment right now. Or I do like you too, but work is so demanding on me that I feel like I'm actually going to be neglectful of you. Like, you don't know what his reasons are. Or maybe I do like you too, but I'm seeing somebody else. You don't know. But how are you going to know if you don't even give him a chance to explain why he's acting hot and cold? There's a reason why people do the things they do. Stop giving people passes. Instead of giving people passes, keep holding people accountable. Ask people questions. That's one thing about me. I will ask. I will ask. Because I need to know why you think that I'm not catching on to the fact that you're playing games. I need to know that. I need to know that. It's for my own like well-being. I need to know why you think that even though I really like you, that I was fake liking you. Because if I was fake liking you, I'm not gonna care if you're acting hot and cold, because I never really cared about you. But if I was liking you for real, when you start acting cold, I'm going to notice it. And it bothers me that I don't know why you're acting this way. So we're going to talk about it. And yes, it's going to be awkward. You'll get over it. You're an adult. JB said, yeah, he's with breadcrumbs. Then I get distance. Yeah, no, don't do that. No, if he's breadcrumbing you, you got to address it. You got to address it the first time, in fact. Because people like that, when you allow it, they keep doing it. And that's the thing with Capricorn. And take it from me as a Capricorn stellium, Capricorn is very egotistical, really. And I thank God for my wife, because she is literally like the first person that has helped me like deconstruct a lot of who I am. Capricorn is closed off, but they're very egotistical. Their strength is not like outward, like Leo. Leo is just like, oh, let me tell you, like who I am. For Capricorn is all within. And what I mean by that is like Capricorn thinks they're always right. They think everything they do is right because they spend so much time thinking about what they're going to do before they do it. All earth signs struggle with this in general. It's not just Capricorn. All earth signs struggle with this, but Capricorn is the epitome of that energy. Trying to get a Capricorn to apologize, oh my God, you better be crying blood. You better be bleeding out of your eyes. But if you think your simple tears is just going to make them recoil, no, these people are unmovable. Morena said yes, and he will get mad and never take accountability and make me feel like I was in the wrong. Yes. Capricorn is an expert at this behavior. And then more importantly, they fail to connect how their behavior is causing the reaction in you. Because they're so self-contained that they don't understand why you can't keep your feelings self-contained too. They're like, why is this my problem? Because if I were you, I would be doing this, that, and that. So if you can't do it, that's on you. That's not my problem. Capricorn is very egotistical in that regard. And it's not because they don't have sensitivity, because when they love you, they're very emotional. Like Capricorn is literally like a puddle of water with like a fortress around it. But very few people get to swim in those waters. Like there's literally like 3 people that Capricorn allows in at a time. Literally 3, maybe 2. But most times it's 1, if I'm being honest. Hi, Shem K. Thanks for liking the live and thanks for being here. So Capricorn doesn't play about their feelings. They don't play about their love. If a Capricorn hasn't told you that they love you, they don't. If a Capricorn hasn't told you that you're monogamous, they're not monogamous. And that's the thing about them. They don't go around selling people dreams because they don't feel they need to butter people up. So if they say something, they mean it. And if they don't say it, they don't mean it. But they're sensitive, but they can be so mean. Capricorn is both sensitive and mean, and I'll be the first to admit it. Again, I'm so grateful for my wife, for her like helping me understand that a lot of people are a lot more sensitive than I am, and that I need to be like more thoughtful about other people's vulnerability. Even though I consider myself a sensitive person, I don't present very sensitive, you know, and a lot of people do, in addition to feeling sensitive. So it doesn't take much. Oh, thank you for my dinner. It doesn't take much for people to feel steamrolled by me, even though I'm not trying to steamroll anyone. It's just my energy is very dominant. And Capricorn in general has that same energy. And when they're in partnership, romance, marriage, whatever, that's where they get to see that part of them and to deconstruct that. Because obviously I'm not trying to steamroll her. Like, no, like that's insane. But that's how they come across, you know, in all the spaces that they occupy. And it takes self-awareness for Capricorn to really be willing to work on that. Like, is there another way to say that, Capricorn? Like, is there another way to express that? How can we do that in a way that feels more gentle? Like, does it need to be this hard? You know, and it's only when Capricorn is in a space where they feel safe that they can go on that journey. But until a Capricorn has been willing to heal themselves enough to invite people in that can critique them intimately and for them to receive it, they make terrible mates. I'll just be honest with you. They always want the ball in their court. Absolutely. Because Capricorn sits at the top of the astrology natal chart. You ever notice the zodiac wheel? When you look at the wheel, look at the signs that are at the top. It's going to be Capricorn right there at the top. That's why Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is the house of public image. Capricorn is the holder of karma in astrology for this reason. So spiritually speaking, the ball is always in their court, okay? However, when we're doing partnership, we don't do partnership from ego. We can do that at work, right? Because at work, sometimes you need ego to get to the top. But when you're doing love and romance, that's not where we bring ego. That's actually the fastest way to destroy a healthy relationship. Once you start competition, because relationship is about collaboration, working together. I work with you, you work with me. I give to you, you give to me. Back and forth. That's Libra, the scales. You get it? Love is like this, constantly in motion. Libra is not at war with herself like Gemini or like Pisces. Libra is in harmony with herself. It's a harmonious energy. JB added, he doesn't want to be seen and I don't. He doesn't want to be seen and I don't like attention. Yeah, it sounds like this person is not actually ready for partnership. My recommendation is that you have the conversation so you can confront it head on. Because if he got with you just for physical reasons, which, you know, that's very Capricorn. Capricorn will give you their body. That's not a problem. But getting their heart, that's a beast. Okay, that's going to take a lot of work. That's the part that many people are not able to get to. Their body is easy. Their money is easy. You know, their secrets and their heart, geez, there's no toughest obstacle course that you will ever have to go through. But you bringing up the conversation, though, is actually going to be something they respect. Because that's the thing about Capricorn. They respect what's real. Because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. If they're hot and they're cold, they know what they're doing. And there's a reason. You having the courage to talk about it is going to bring them back into their alignment. Because they're supposed to be the most disciplined zodiac sign. So hot and cold isn't giving discipline. It's giving shifty. So usually when a Capricorn is shifty, there's something else going on. And let me tell you about Capricorn. They go through a lot of hell alone. Okay? A lot of hell. So a lot of times when they're shifty, is because there are other things going on in the background that they're dealing with that the average person can't deal with. But they still show up every day as if it's normal. So you don't know. This guy could be going through the worst hell ever. But because they're closed off emotionally, he's not inviting you into that. For all you know, like his family member could be in an assisted living facility and he's been going there every morning. You know, like Capricorn is always going through stuff, but they're never communicating it because their worlds are constantly being tested. And that's what makes them strong. They're not strong because they're cocky. They're strong because they've defeated demons on their own since they were little. And they've never had anybody help them. So if they're going to do partnership with you, it has to be because you're strong. So they expect you to manage some aspects of your well-being independent of them because that's the way they've always done life. So to get a Capricorn to fall in love with you, Morena said you're in line. Yeah, the Capricorn path is very hard. And I'm so grateful I got chosen for the role because I get it. I get it. In my perfect world, I want to be somebody that's regimented, that's organized, that's predictable. I value predictability in myself and other people. I love simplicity, but I know life is none of those things. So when life is coming at me fast, I'm not going to be able to stay in that energy. Now, the trick is for me to actually use my throat chakra to communicate that so that you know what's going on and you don't think it's about you, because hardly ever is it about you. Because that's the other thing. Capricorn is so impervious to other people's vibes. Like, you could be having a bad vibe or you could not like me, and you and I could be sitting in a board meeting and we could be this close to each other. And when I tell you from the depths of my soul that I do not care how you feel about me, I mean that. It's because I've had to love myself on my own with no support. So I figured out how to do that without your love. So I can work with anybody that can't stand me all day long. I'm pretty sure I can work with racists. I'm pretty sure I can work with members of the KKK. I've worked with rapists. I've worked with child molesters in my career. I can work with anyone because I'm unaffected by your mood. But the thing is, when you allow your mood to violate my boundaries, that's when I get away. Because I don't mind you doing your thing over there. But when you bring whatever is going on with you and try to disrupt what's going on over here, that's when we have a confrontation. Because I don't allow what I feel to affect you in a negative way. So I expect you to manage whatever you have going on away from me the way I manage what I have going on away from you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Capricorn is very independent, emotionally, psychologically. So there's strong boundaries around them at all times. Like the little things that people do that get other people irate, that get an emotional reaction out of people. Thank you for my gifts. You could do that all day long with a Capricorn. They don't care. They have the most patience out of everyone. They know eventually you're going to get tired. And eventually the labor, the negativity that you've been harboring, that you've been planting seeds of negativity, the forest that you're growing from that negativity, eventually you're going to have to harvest that. They know this because they were born with karma as their ruler. So they know there's no escaping who you are ultimately. So if you want to be a KKK member, that's on you. But I know eventually you're going to have to deal with that. But who am I to try to get over there and try to, no, that's not my journey. That's yours. The problem with that is when it gets in relationship, because when you're in relationship with a Capricorn, they don't take any responsibility for the emotional energy that you're experiencing based on how they're behaving. And that's where we run into problems. Because even though Capricorn is strong, what I'm here to work on is developing empathy for people who may not be so unaffected by other people. Some people, they like to talk about people behind their back, but when they see them, they can't even look at them in the eyes. And Capricorn, we talk to you to your face about you. Do you see how that's different? We're just not the same. And it's because we've never had anybody cuddle us about our feelings. So we don't expect it from you. We don't expect you to be like, oh, it's going to be okay, baby. I'm so sorry you have to sit in front of that person and deal with them. I don't care. I don't care about that. I could deal with them. I could be in a room with a million people who can't stand me. I'll be fine. I'll be just like I am now. Because I don't live to impress them. My life is not about them. And quite frankly, they have the right to feel however they feel. But the thing is, a lot of people, when they come to relationship with unresolved emotional issues from their mom and their dad. And a lot of times people are actually attracted to Capricorn because Capricorn represents father. And when you happen to be a Capricorn in a feminine body, like Capricorn woman, or if you're a Capricorn who's comfortable with their femininity, a lot of people are attracted to you because you represent both mother and father. So instead of dealing with the issues with mother and father that Capricorn has never met, they're attracted to you because you offer that stability they always wanted from mother and father. And folks, we love you for it. We admire that you find our stability comforting. But I need y'all to know that the love that we have to offer is tough. And it's the same love that mommy and daddy should have given to you. So Capricorn can only do tough love. They're here to learn to soften the edges. Excuse me. Capricorn is here to learn to soften the edges on that tough love. And that's why I married a Cancer. So I can learn those skills.
You know, the value that this woman brings to my emotional world is immeasurable, because these are things I was not aware of, because my wife is so much better at honoring other people's sensitivity in the littlest ways, in ways that I'm not even aware of. But a lot of times people aren't even aware that they're using us for their unresolved issues with their moms and their dads. And usually it's their dads. So when you happen to be feminine, there's this expectation that you be more sensitive, you know, to their sensitivity. And I'm here to tell you that Capricorn's love is tough. If you're looking for a sensitive lover, get a Cancer, you know, get a Pisces, get a Scorpio. Don't get an earth sign. Don't get a Capricorn. Don't get a Taurus. Don't get a Virgo. That's not where you're going to get it. We give you structure. We give you framework. We give you direction. We give you advice. Our love is hard. It's tough. It's direct. It's to the point. It's no nonsense. So when a Capricorn is acting with nonsense, you got to hold him accountable, because that's the only way we also grow. We evolve. So that's my advice. Talk to them. Put it on the table. Confront the truth. You know? Help them see themselves. Because how else am I going to grow if you don't call me out? That's the thing about Capricorn. And by the way, this is why Capricorn don't make good partners to people who have weak personalities. And what I mean by weak personalities is people who fold easily. Because the power of Capricorn rests in their inability to compromise. And this is exactly what makes them hard to deal with in a marriage, because they're not the most compromising personality. And their life journey is actually about not compromising. That's how they get to where they need to go. It's by being able to withstand pressure from the universe and not giving in, not bowing down. It's standing your ground in the face of pressure. Like, think Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is a Capricorn. Okay? Capricorn is a zodiac sign that prides itself in being able to withstand the war. Aries starts the war, Capricorn finishes the war. Because we're always going to be the last one in the building. Because we don't want it quick and fast. We want it to last forever. And when you're building things that last forever, you have to take your time. So Capricorn may be willing to have fun with you after hours. Capricorn may be willing to throw some money on you, to live life, enjoy the pleasures of life. But if you want something more with Capricorn, you've got to be patient. It's not happening fast. They don't want it cheap. When it comes to love, they want the best quality. And the best quality of love to Capricorn is the kind that lasts forever. Forever. Like, think Dolly Parton. She's a Capricorn. You know, rest in peace to her husband. She just lost her husband. But study her. Study her story. Study when she met her husband. Study how old he was when he passed. Study how long they've been married. That is a classic Capricorn story. Capricorn does not play about their heart. They're very serious and very intentional. It's not something to do because they're bored. Because in fact, Capricorn does not need romance the way the other zodiac signs do to feel fulfilled, because they're fulfilled themselves. So if they choose to do partnership with you, it's not about romance. It's about building together, building. And when we build, we got to be slow and steady so we can make sure everything is correct, is being done properly. Capricorn is very big on proper protocol. You know, they don't like chaos, and they don't like investing in things that don't bring value. If your love is only here today but gone tomorrow, it was never love. It was infatuation. It was, you know, you were desperate for touch or something. It was something to do. Real love is able to withstand a lot of tragedies. That's what real love is. Real love takes a lot of work. Real love has to go through so much pain and so much forgiveness. You don't get to be married to somebody for 50, 60, 70 years without going through pain and forgiveness. Well, you have to build that. You have to build a framework that allows imperfection. That's what Capricorn is about. And this is why they can't dive into feelings. Yes, they may feel the feelings, but that doesn't mean that they want to put their all into it. Because to put their all into it, they have to be sure it's a good investment. And Capricorn thinks of love as an investment. It's not something to do to pass time. It has to bring value to the world. It has to be rooted in something meaningful. It has to have soul. That's really it. It has to have soul. If it's not soulful, then what is it about? Because if it's just about the superficial aspect of life, you can get that with anybody. Tomorrow I'm going to meet someone hotter than you. Tomorrow I'm going to meet someone that has more money than you. Exactly. Substance. It's something about you. It can't be about these other things because that's replaceable. So if you really want something real with this person, you need to be real with them. So if they're not ready to break the karmic cycle, you have to be ready to do the work of breaking the karmic cycle by confronting the falsehood. Because if your behavior and the words you're saying aren't matching, if the energy is hot and cold, there's a lie in there. I need to know what that's about. So they may not be ready to address it, but you have to address it for your own self-respect. Because you can't let people play with you. Because if you do, they'll keep playing with you. And Capricorn knows better than to play with people. Because they're karmic. Any evolved Capricorn knows that. They know not to play with you. So myself, as a Capricorn stellium, what I can and I cannot do, I like to be very clear about it. And if I can't do something, or if I said I'm going to do something and I can't do it, the first thing I'm going to do when I get to it is apologize and explain what happened. Capricorn like to be true to their word. And they like their word to follow their action. They like consistency themselves. They're very, very big on disciplining themselves, controlling themselves, being the master of themselves. That's where a lot of their power is. So this is your opportunity to help him evolve by holding him accountable. And he will respect you more for doing that. That's the other thing. Capricorn can't date everybody because a lot of people cower with Capricorn. They cower. Instead of coming out and saying the things or checking Capricorn, they cower. But Capricorn only respect those that are strong enough to check them. If you want a Capricorn's respect, you've got to be able to checkmate them. Because if you cannot checkmate them, they will never respect you. You folding and becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, that's not how you earn their respect. You earn their respect by confrontation. Because you need to let them know you're seeing them. And that's the only way they can adjust themselves so they can become a better human. If you're not willing to do that work of getting in the trenches with a Cap, the mountain climber, then you're not the right person for them. Because if you can't even correct me, what can you do for me? Do you see that? Because Capricorn is here to develop themselves so they can get to the top of that mountain. If the way that I'm climbing the mountain is wrong, and the way I'm doing it is not helpful, if you don't tell me, first of all, how much do you love me? That's number one. Because if you're not telling me, you obviously don't love me. You don't care about me. You don't care if I self-destruct. You don't care. So if you don't care, you can't tell me you love me. It doesn't make sense. So if you do care and you're invested, then you're invested in me being my best. Because when I love you, I'm invested in you being your best. So if you're not willing to give me feedback so I can be even better, if you don't see yourself as an equal enough to me to checkmate me, that's what I mean by checkmate me, is giving me feedback so I can evolve, then what kind of partnership do we have? Because you think you're here and I'm here, and I never wanted to be here and you to be here. It's just I'm dominant and I need you to be here for this to work. So I hope that's helpful. What he really wants from you is for you to be his equal. Capricorn doesn't do well in relationships with people who baby themselves. Capricorn can't do babies because they've been adults their whole lives. They don't know baby experiences. That life didn't give them the opportunity to flounder in their own sensitivity because there was nobody else there to pick them up. They had to be mommy and daddy to themselves. So people that had to raise themselves, those are not very good people when it comes to babying adults. Okay? Morena said I can't do Aries anymore. Yeah. Aries is the infant of the zodiac. If you're gonna do Aries, you have to be willing to baby them. Indoors he's a baby, yes, because he never had that nurturing energy. You know, the things we never had, we still crave it. We still want it. We still need it, even though we didn't get it. But the thing is, when it's time for us to give it to others, we may not have it because we were never given it. But I think this is why I like Capricorn and Cancer, because Cancer, being the sister of Capricorn, can teach Capricorn to be softer. And in that softness, Capricorn can learn how to in turn give that softness to others. I thank God for my career choice, because if I hadn't made this one and made another, I wouldn't be here, because being a therapist has taught me so much about how to baby adults. Being a manager has done the same thing. But if I didn't have those life career paths, I may have never had any of those. And even so, I'm still very dominant and my energy is still very strong. And it's too strong for a lot of people. And I get that. But this is about as soft as it is for right now. But imagine somebody that didn't even have this background. Miranda said she tried being with her Aries, but he was just drained towards the end. JB said, yes, I feel like I'm making more emotional and he makes me control mine. I love that. Yes, it's a beautiful balance. Capricorn and Cancer, beautiful balance. Aries and Capricorn generally don't work together well because they're both cardinal. When you're looking to see if zodiac signs are compatible, before you even get into their sign, just look into their disposition or their qualities. That's actually the correct term in astrology, their qualities. So zodiac signs that are mutables, I don't do well in relationship with other mutable. Zodiac signs that are fixed, don't do well in relationship with other fixed. Zodiac signs that are cardinal, don't do well in relationship with signs that are cardinal. So Capricorn and Cancer are both cardinals, and that's what makes a relationship challenging, is because they're both leaders. They're both visionaries. They both have an agenda. They both have a plan. They both have a goal they're trying to get to. But it teaches them both how to manage their egos, because the village can only have one chief at a time. So we've got to take turns. And that's what relationships are about. They're about sharing power, you know. And a Capricorn who is evolved, they don't use their ego to manipulate their partner. A Capricorn that is unevolved is very egotistical, number one, which all Capricorns are, sun, moon, rising, and especially stellium. But number two, they're not aware of it, and that's what makes it hurtful. It's the fact that they don't know they're egotistical. Being egotistical is not the problem. It's leading with ego and bringing ego to your relationship and not being accountable for how your ego is controlling the entire landscape of the relationship and taking no responsibility for the harm that is being caused because you think you're always right. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with that kind of person. Nobody. And that's why a lot of times Capricorns don't do well in marriage for this reason, because they have very little self-awareness, because that sensitivity wasn't developed in childhood, and it's now upon them to work on it. And many of them are vastly uninterested in things like humility, sensitivity, self-reflection, tenderness, vulnerability. Few of them are interested in really investigating themselves to see, how can I be a kinder, more loving person? How can I be a more gentle person? How can I, be a more supportive mate? Not necessarily for the sake of, I don't know why I'm getting, not necessarily for the sake of having more power, but really for the sake of understanding how you come across to other people and how you affect other people. And if you love people, then you care about how they feel. That's really the bottom floor of love, is your feelings are important to me, full stop. That's it, full stop. Doesn't matter if I agree. It doesn't matter if I feel the same way. It doesn't matter if I would react this way if I was in your situation. It's not about me, it's about you. Your feelings are important to me. So when you express your feelings, I listen and I hear you and I make room for them and I absorb it and I incorporate it and I receive it. And I'm aware of it. And I'm aware of your sensitivity. A lot of Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will often dismiss feelings for the sake of the task. And when these people get in partnership together, it gets rough for this reason. Okay? So this is something all cardinal signs have to keep working on. Libra is the most effective at building relationships. Cancer is the most sensitive with being tuned into what other people are doing. Aries and Capricorn struggle the most, though Capricorn has intuitive knowing about what's going on with people because they're very good at minding their business. So it's easy for them to receive information about others. Aries is the least mature of all of them. And trying to do relationship with an emotionally immature adult is not easy. I've been there. It's exhausting because you're trying to convince them that their behavior is harmful. And I shouldn't have to convince you of that. It should be common sense that being unkind to me hurts my feelings. And if you wouldn't want me to treat you the way you're treating me, then why are you treating me this way? And how dare you do that while claiming to love me? So on top of being abusive, you're insulting my intelligence. And you want me to still smile as if everything is good just because you're having a temper tantrum. No, I will not smile. And everything is not good. and you can disappear from my reality. Because whatever hurt that is in your heart that makes you treat people this way, you need to heal that away from me, because I didn't cause that. I didn't harm you. I didn't do any of these things to you. This has nothing to do with me, and I deserve the same kind of love and respect I give you. And if you're not willing to treat me like the adult that I'm treating you as, then this is not an equitable partnership. So we have no business together, because this belongs on the therapist's couch. It does not belong in my home, because none of this is my business. So that's the issue with Aries. In their defense, as being the infant of the zodiac, they have no self-awareness, no respect, no contract, yes. And Aries will love you to death, go out with their friends, get drunk, and sleep with someone else. Like sleep with someone else, like it's nothing. And they will think they're doing you a favor because they did not confess to you that they slept with someone else, that they protected you. They will think they're protecting you by not telling you that they cheated on you. That's what they will think. Seriously. I've seen this a lot. Or when they get caught, they will somehow make it seem like you did something, which is why they did what they did. They could love you and betray you like it's nothing. Like, I was having a good time. What's the problem? You were boring. That's Aries. Just very focused on what they want, what feels good in the moment. And that's all they care about. What they want and what feels good in the moment. And there are other zodiac signs that don't mind this, like Gemini. But the rest of us that have Venus in Capricorn, Venus in Aquarius, Venus in Pisces, we can't. We can't. Because there is this thing called ethics. There is this thing called a contract. When you give me your word and you say we're doing monogamy, that's what I expect you to do. And if you change your mind about that, I expect you to tell me that. But I don't get to find out after you've cheated on me that that's not what you want and expect me to be cool about it. No, you've lost my respect. I want nothing to do with you. Yeah, I mean, God bless the people that are into that. It's just every zodiac sign has its own stage of development. As much as I think that behavior is hurtful, I need you to know this is what an Aries is here to do. They're here to break all the rules. That's who they're here to do. So are they wrong for their life journey? Absolutely not. Aries is supposed to sleep around. They are. That's why Aries Venus does not do well in long-term relationship. And this is why I'm always talking to you guys about understanding who you are. Like, what is your energetic footprint? Some zodiac signs are not meant for monogamy. You need to know who you are and get with that program. But what I don't like is when people tell other people that they're one thing, but they're really another, and then it creates issues. Like, there's no reason to create confusion and chaos on earth when you could simply be who you are and be okay with it. Because the truth is, Aries gets really bored in monogamy. It's really boring for Aries. Aries is really here to do all the things. So the goal is to actually not promise people things that you can't deliver on, especially when it comes to the heart, because a lot of our karma is about our heart. It's not even about the things we do. It's about our heart, because sometimes we do bad things. But if your heart is good, you feel what you're supposed to feel, which is remorse. You know, you feel embarrassed, you feel ashamed, and then you fix it. You fix that character flaw so you can be a better person. But for some people, they do bad things and they feel nothing. And they'll wonder why their world goes up in flames. And they love to think it's like somebody doing voodoo on them, when it's really just their karma. It's like, baby, these are the seeds you planted of deceit, of manipulation. Why are you surprised when other people are being deceitful towards you and manipulating you? You get what you give. Learn from it and move on. That's it. All right, guys. So that was it. Karma equals balance. Thank you, Change IP, for this beautiful summary.
For more astrology content, you may follow all of our YouTube astrology channels. The first one being at Intuitive Healing for Astrology 101, at Styled_Libra for Love, at Astrology Weekly for Horoscopes and Manifestation, and lastly, at Styled_Virgo for Medical Astrology. You may check out intuitivehealing.com patreon.com for astrology readings as well as healing crystals. And make sure to check out our manifestation group on Patreon at patreon.com/intuitive healing. Catch you soon on the next video.